and gentlemen, welcome to episode 45 of the Mayhem Show. I am super excited to be here tonight with you fine folks out there in TV land. Welcome to another fun episode of the Mayhem Show with Mark May and my co-host Lewis Perry, who will be bringing on here in just a little bit. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Valac, which is our next Kickstarter that we're going to be running this week sometime, and it's going to be a mystery when we launch. I've learned I'm going to start keeping these dates a mystery. That way nobody else knows, can launch a week before. You know who I'm talking about. Listen, I am so happy. It's December. They say don't launch in December. They say don't launch in December because it's going to be one of those like nightmare scenarios. They said it last year, and we launched anyways, and we got funded. So that's what we're going to do this time. We're going to push through. I'm going to get on every single live show I can possibly get on, not just mine, but everyone's I can find. I mean, you know, I hear there's a guy that has an Angry Geek show I might be able to get on. So we'll see. But I'm going to try to get on every single live show to promote this thing the best that I can all the way up until January, which is when we'll end. So I am excited. We're going to play a little video here for you before we bring everybody on. It is the Valic intro video. If you haven't seen it yet, this is going to be a kind of a little example of what we got coming for you for Valac, the Sorcerer's Revenge, the next chapter of Hellbringers. So let's play this video for you right now, guys. I hope you guys are doing good out there tonight. Talk to us, throw us some comments, let us know you're out there. We love you guys. First one I want to show you is the Valac, the Sorcerer's Revenge King Marino video. If you haven't seen it yet, it gets a kick. Here it comes.
Valic's woman was taken from him by Samoan guards who caught her out there breaking capo laws, beaten and left for dead. While they took her, he started asking the guards for strength and they gave him the hookup. He took that power and slayed the guards and got his woman. The only problem was he couldn't control it and slayed his woman. The time passed, then he entered into a tournament against Kimono, the great white shark. He took his soul-sucking powers and came out with the win. The tournament designed to go and find the best of men, the best soldier to recommend to the gods. Power building the soldier to go and do his bidding. Valac talking to the gods. At the top of a volcano, lava rushing. He gets the power, then he start bluffing. And instead of helping Power seize Hawaiian Islands, he goes and throws himself into the fire, so he may never hurt another soul. He once bargained for the power, now he letting go. After jumping in the fire, hell the only place to go. He became the sorcerer of all sorcerers, and Lila's right-hand man to level Rabana, ready to get revenge on Beelzebub wherever he stand. Where you at, bro? What's up?
So, ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the Valac kind of hype video we had that we made the rap song with King Marino for. And then we've been pushing that for the Kickstarter for what we're doing for the promotion stuff. And we're going to have one little bit later on that's going to have one of my favorite composers of all time, Adrian Von Ziegler, that we'll play at the end of the show. And we'll kind of get you in the mood, and I'll tell you everything we got going on. But we got covers from Andy Lee, Mog Park, Anvu, Brett Okamura, myself, Steph Wilson, and Carrie Ann. We're going to have a cover from John that we're going to show on here later tonight. It is freaking beautiful. I wish we had little breakdown pictures that we could show of each one of the little scenes here, because it is freaking amazing. As the weeks go on, we'll be showing it off a little bit more, because it blew my mind, like, for sure. He's an incredible artist. Awesome to work with. We're going to be bringing him on in just a few minutes here. Lewis, how we doing tonight, my friend?
I'm exhausted. It's been a long week. The holiday season is here. We're gearing up. I mean, we're busy. I'm busy on both the other shows I'm on, but I'm here for you tonight, and that's all I got to say about that.
Why are you so nice to me, Lewis?
Time to play the game. I don't know. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Andre is in the house. What's up? I've been hanging out with Andre Monday night, hanging out with Andre again tonight. It's a late night for me, but I'm still hanging out with my buddy Andre over here. What's going on, Andre? How are you?
How's it going, Andre?
So Mark, before we get started, before you bring
Yes,
in your
sir.
guest, I want to say congratulations on the house, brother. And I want to say happy birthday to the lovely Mrs. Mark.
Thank you,
I wanna
sir.
say happy
Thank you.
birthday. Her birthday was the other day.
I am excited. We are renting a place together, which puts us one step further to actually being husband and wife. We are engaged, as you know. I'm very excited about that. So, on a personal note, it's going to give me a little room to be able to work a little harder on my artwork. And it really does make me pretty excited to see where I can go from here as far as where we can push and where I can push my limits with no excuses. So
yeah, well,
I can't wait to
want to say happy birthday too. Oh, so yeah, I forgot I was plugged in.
She rocks, man. Without Adina, there would be no Hellbringers. We always like to say that. So
yeah. Well, Adina, happy birthday! I wanted to get that out there really quick.
Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Without any further ado, we're going to bring on our guest of the evening. You can see the background art all around us. Be checking that out all night. I love this cover. There's no other way to put it. I haven't even brought him on yet because I can't stop talking about how much I love it. So, anyways, here we go. John.
Hey, aloha, everyone.
What a pleasure, man, to actually be able to meet you face to face here, tell you how amazing that cover actually was that we are surrounded by right now.
John, we almost look the same. We could be brothers.
We do. We could.
I'm like looking in a mirror right now. Oh my god.
Well, just remember, we're all Ohana here, man. Just saying, right?
But Mark, John and I are handsome. And I'm looking into a mirror right now.
Hey, man, this is a mask. You don't even know what's under this.
We're almost dressed the same and everything. I had a double take here.
Oh, my
God. And Sabrina is in the house. Sabrina says, VOG FYI.
I don't know what that means. You know what that means? You got a clue?
It's the fog. It's the fog from the volcano. So the volcano on the Big Island kind of emits like all this kind of like a it's kind of like a smog, but it's like a natural thing. So yeah, we get that a lot here in Hawaii, like the fog. I guess
there you go. See, I'm glad you told me that because I would have been sitting here like, Vog, what is that? Is that some kind of new like thing that I don't know about? Like that's you know what I
mean? It could mean somebody else. It could be an acronym for something else. I'm not sure.
So, John, you got a big convention coming up this weekend, don't you?
On Maui, yeah, the Maui Comic Con, which is going to be.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about that one?
It's going to be this weekend at the Maui Beach Hotel. It's free for everybody to attend. It's going to be the special guests are going to be like Frank Cho, Jim Rugg, Ed Piskor, Liam Sharp, R. Kukui Johnson, and we're going to have a lot of like local artists as well, including me and a lot of other local artists as well. So yeah.
So that sounds like an awesome convention, and I mean you can't beat a Hawaii convention because I should know. I've been there, man. You know what I mean? So like,
I like the shirt, by the way.
Oh, dude, this is what I wear all the time, anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of one of those things. Like I get like in my head. I wish I was still there all the time.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So.
Well, hopefully the cons will come back again.
I hope so too, man. Amazing. Hawaii is the best convention ever.
It's a great con, yeah, definitely.
Lewis, before I get to the big question tonight,
Oh my
you
God!
know
You're
what
not
it
going to
is.
ask him.
Yes, I
You're
am.
not-
I'm gonna ask him. What's your favorite food, John, that you can get at any convention that you go to, my friend? What's your
My favorite
of all
food? I would have to say, well, we have this thing called chicken katsu, which is like a chicken cutlet that we get a lot of at the local stores here. But yeah, so usually after the con, we usually like hit like one of the local restaurants over here, and yeah, that's usually what I like to eat.
that? What's your favorite one?
We usually end up going to like L&L.
You
So,
heard
yeah.
it here, folks. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys are hearing it from the man himself where to go next time you're there. So,
Yeah, check it out. It's good.
Lewis.
You put me on the spot. John, John, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the industry for? What are some of your influences, and what made you decide to draw comics out of every other art medium that is out there?
For me, it's like I grew up in the 70s. So, this is before the internet, this is before cable TV, this is before computers and so forth. And so like I was always an indoor kid. So I had to do something to occupy my time. So I would
We
end
are
up doing
alike.
a lot of drawings. Yeah, I would do a lot of drawing. And my parents were very, very supportive of it. And so like I actually used to watch a lot of Saturday morning cartoons. So watch a lot of Bugs Bunny, watch a lot of animation and so forth. And then I also used to like reading the Sunday funnies in the newspaper. So I was really, really into like comic strips. My parents worked at a bus company, and a lot of kids would actually leave their comic books behind. So my parents would come home with like a huge stack of comics, and so I got to read like comics for free. But a lot of them weren't like Marvel or DC. I actually used to read a lot of like Richie Rich and Archie's, and that's what I kind of grew up with. And that's why my style is a little bit more animated, a little more humorous and so forth, because that's kind of like what I gravitated to. As for professionally, I would say like I don't know, I've been doing it since like 1988. I guess I've been kind of like doing comic strips for our newspaper, and yeah, I've been doing it ever since.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Mark,
Dude, John, and awesome question, Lewis. But
Yeah.
John, I got to tell you, man, like we got to bring this cover up here in a little bit. I'm
yeah.
sweating to do it, man, because I want to talk about all the different scenes in this. And Lewis, I can't wait for you to see it either. You've followed Hellbringers since the
Yeah, go
beginning
right
of
ahead.
inception, so it's one of these covers, man, that is just it. He tried to put almost every single card character on the cover. It's a double-sided cover, so we're gonna do virgin art, for it's double-sided. It's gonna be incredible. Here, let me first play a short video, a little hype video for this particular book, and then we're gonna bring on the cover. How's that sound, guys?
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Thank you, sir. If that doesn't hype you up enough, I don't know what will, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying.
It's like, Mark, you take all your creations and all your comics and you wish them or you think of them as major motion pictures.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes.
I try to make the production as big as possible with everybody that we possibly can, man. I try my hardest. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, John Jay, this is his cover, ladies and gents. I have to tell you guys, this is probably the coolest cover in the history of Hellbringers covers ever. And the amount of effort that went into this cover, I mean, what can you say? I mean, John, I don't even know how you did this, man. Like, I sit here and I look at this.
I don't either.
and the way you did it, too. Like, and ladies and gentlemen, like, he's such an awesome professional. Like, he literally wanted to get everything right, throw in scenes from the book that actually make sense, that follow along with the story. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better cover. I mean, this is a piece of artwork that is going to live forever, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it really is. And when you sit here and look at all the different pieces that we've done so far, with all the amazing cover artists that we've had, you know, Shannon Mayer, Joseph Michael Linsner, you know, Lucio Perillo, now you, John, like this is like, you're falling into a category of these incredible Hellbringers artists, and this is going to be, you know, a memorable cover for a long time. There's covers out there that, you know, we have that, you know, might not necessarily be memorable. This is going to be one of those that stands out forever, man. And let's talk about some of these different scenes on here while we got it up. Like, if you guys can see, if you're watching on TV right now, we have Jingar and Shred and Captain Dreadnought and Brutus actually playing cards at the table on the front of this cover. And you actually have you have Valic and Ravana at the bottom right.
I have a question. Where's Mark May in the Waldo shirt?
No,
dude, dude, you want to know? You want to know? So first off, we made jokes about that while we were doing this. We were like, should we put Waldo in here? Because this is like a Where's Waldo type like scenario. I definitely want to do a Hellbringers where it was like Waldo style book. I told John this. This is one of my future plans that I want in the company, is to have a Where's Waldo style book, and John would be the guy to do it for sure if we ever did one, because he is incredible, as you can see here. But Lewis, if you will look at the middle of the front part of the cover, which would be the right side, at the middle and up, if you see the big Brogmere the Titan at the top right, if you go to the left of that, you'll see a little bearded ginger wearing a blue suit. You want to know where I am on this cover? There you go, brother.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and then you have Lucifer up here talking to Michael and Gabriel, just spouting off about how great he is, and then Lilith is kissing Attila behind his back. I mean, dude, you've got incredible little Easter eggs here. Like, Hellpug's up on this tiki bar right here having drinks. Like, and then V the Fairy Assassin, my kid, is up at the top, kind of next to me where Elephantitis and Rhinoceros Rex are. So it's, dude, all the different scenes, all the different details, everything in this cover, man, is just one of those like things. Man, when I saw it, I mean, just when he would send me the little scenes just by themselves, I would get choked up, man, because I was like, damn, like, this dude's paying attention. You know what I mean? And not only that, but like, it's just fun to see, like somebody take your creations and do something like that with them. I mean, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear all their beautiful faces. I just had to show that off because of how excited I was about that. And you can see it's our background photo. Might be our background photo for a long time, Lewis, honestly.
We can zoom into different parts. You know?
Yeah, we're gonna take the different parts and show it off.
John, how long did this piece take you?
Oh, this actually took a while. I would say a little over 3 weeks. I think we were going back and forth because I wanted to make sure that it was right. And
Okay.
so I would draw like a little bits of it and then send it to Mark and get his feedback. And it helped too that Mark actually kind of like gave me a list of all the characters and kind of gave suggestions like maybe these guys are together having a tea party, maybe these guys are together kicking this person in the nuts, kind of stuff like that. And then we just kind of went from there. And then aside from a few like changes, like maybe I had the character wrong, and so we had to revise it. It pretty much went pretty smoothly back and forth. And so yeah, after about 3 weeks, we finally got it all together, and we were happy with it. And yeah, it looks good.
No, it looks fantastic. So you also did the coloring on this as well?
Yes,
Awesome.
thank you.
It's incredible. Like I said, Lewis has seen me for covers on this show particularly. I do not get excited the way I'm excited right now talking about this cover, man. It was a big deal. I can see where your hard work went into this, and just so you know, it is thanked and loved, brother. So
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it.
ladies and gents, I want to show you the first appearance of Valic in the comic books. This is Ron Charles Williams, who drew Valac in The Ties That Bind Us for Hellbringers. So having his side story here is kind of a big deal. It's kind of like the origin solo story of one of our main characters that we have in the book right now. That's Becky Fuller on colors, by the way, ladies and gents. And so showing that off, we want to talk about that for a little bit. Brett Okamura is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Brett, who is doing interiors in the book. He was on the video that we watched earlier, right when the show started. Having Brett in the house is awesome for this. Brett's cool, ladies and gentlemen, to work with. If you get a chance to work with that guy too, I'm throwing it out there, guys. I'm telling you guys, John has been great. Brett has been great. You got to work with these guys. You
Me
just
not
got to
so
trust
much.
them. You got to work with Lewis too. If anybody else out there in TV land's listening, work with this guy. If you want him as an artist, he can draw too. Just saying, folks. And I don't know if you've seen his Macho Man impression.
Nah, I'm no, not yet, brother, not yet, because I'm not yeah, I'm not in costume, nothing, no.
He's feeling it, ladies and gentlemen. I bet he breaks that out later. I'm just saying,
Yeah, later.
He had it in him. He sounded like he wanted it. So, Brett wants to know who is the Hawaii Godfather of comics, John?
Don Ho.
I think the Godfather of comics would be Sam Campos, I believe, who does Pineapple Man. He would be the Godfather of comics here in Hawaii.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to know that Valac is a special character to my heart. If you guys don't know, I love Hawaii. Ever since I went there, it has been amazing. Also, the people were really great to me while I was there. So it's just one of those things. So the people that I met and the people that know the people that I love, I kind of decided to give them a chance. And I had no idea what was going to happen with this. I still don't know what's going to happen with this. But the truth is these guys are so badass, so hardworking, so professional and good at what they do. I was like, man, these guys need a fucking chance. And guess what? I'm the guy that can give it to them. And so I was like, you know what? We're going to make it happen. And that's what we did. And that's what Valac is. Valac is actually a Hawaiian character. And you guys will see that in the book. And that's what kind of makes this story kind of cool, is because we're tying all this into hell. And you guys will like the way we do this, especially with your damn volcanoes, you bastards. So you're going to love this. Lewis.
Yeah.
I know you're going to fall asleep in like 20 minutes, man.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that.
You have no.
I'm trying to keep you awake.
I
Best I can.
Well, first, John, are you on East? What's the time zone in Hawaii? I never been, so the time
Oh,
zone from Massachusetts to Colorado messes me up bad. So what is the time zone? What time is it right now in Colorado?
Oh man, he'd
oh,
be destroyed in a way.
this is 4:30 right now.
Oh, I'll be screwed. I'll
Yeah.
be. I mean, I am sleeping at this time right now.
Oh, there you go.
So it's yeah, I am
Yeah.
doing all I can to stay awake. I've already took my nighttime medication because sometimes on Wednesdays when I'm hanging out with this cat, I forget to do it.
Oh,
So I'm like, I get in bed and like, oh, I'll wake up with a headache or something like that. So I am super like exhausted. I was talking to my boss today. She called me up and I'm doing paperwork and she said something. I'm like, well, tomorrow's Friday. She goes, no, today's only Wednesday. And I'm like, it's been an hellacious week. Mark, where the hell am I going? What the hell were you? What? Yes, Sleepy Lewis, that's for sure. What the? Hey, brother, I had a busy weekend. It's yeah,
I hear
yeah.
you, man. I hear you 100%.
But I ain't punchy, you know. It's just the way I talk.
Yeah. So it's yeah. Where was I going? What was I doing? What do you
I
want me
don't
to
know.
do?
Where were you going with this?
I have no idea.
You need a pillow. That's what you need.
Uh,
Hard.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So, John,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question, brother.
what's up?
What's your dream convention to go to?
Oh, dream convention. You know, I really haven't been to many, so I wouldn't mind checking out a lot of them, like Emerald City or New York Comic Con. I've been to San Diego Comic Con. That place is a zoo. It's like it's crazy. Um, I've had a table once, but it's like in the small, like the kind of like the small vendors area. So it's kind of like people kind of like pass you by. It's like because you're just like a drop in the bucket. But I mean, it's a great con nonetheless. I think there's so much going on. There's so many people and everything. It's good to network as well. But it's a little bit too chaotic for me. So I wouldn't mind trying some of these other ones. So Emerald City, maybe. Yeah.
Brett says Maui Comic Con.
Yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there.
I wish I could be there, honestly.
Maui Comic Con was
Fly
kind of
out
a
there
last minute
tomorrow.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had to wait for the mayor to kind of like lift all the, to see if we could actually have like get-togethers and things like that together in Hawaii again.
Oh,
So
COVID
it
restrictions.
was,
Got it.
yeah, it was really like last minute.
So this convention that you're going to this weekend, John,
Yeah.
it's free to everyone.
Yeah, everybody can just go in and check it out. So there's no
Wow,
cover charge or anything. Yeah, it's great.
that is absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic. What other besides working with Mark right now and that fantastic cover that you did, what other projects do you have that we can look forward to? And how is your commission, your commission slate moving forward toward the holidays? Are they open? Are they not open? What do you got going on right now on the burner?
Right now it's like I'm doing a majority of what I do is like comic strips. So I have
Okay.
like 2 comic strips that are like in the in our local newspaper. So one
Oh,
is
cool.
the it's called Calabash in the Honolulu Star Advertiser, and that's like every
That's so
every other
awesome.
week. Yeah. And then I have another one called Generation Gap, which is in the Hawaii Herald, which is a Japanese American newspaper. And so it's pretty much I have like a comic strip every week that I have to like go back and forth to. But down the line, I do have a comic called Gordon Rider, and Gordon Rider is kind of a parody of like I don't know if you know the character Kamen Rider, which is kind of like a live action Japanese superhero in Japan, kind of like a Power Ranger, yeah.
Yep.
But Gordon Rider. Oh, go ahead.
I remember the show. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no. So Gordon Rider is kind of like a misfit version. It's kind of a parody of it. So it's very silly, and it's really tongue in cheek. And I always loved like misfit superheroes. So I used to like the Mighty Heroes way back when from Rolf Bakshi. I loved Freakazoid. I loved the Tick, and all those kind of like silly superhero things. So I thought I'd put together my comic book together, and so I did Gordon Ryder. And right now I'm on issue 14. I know a lot of people are waiting for 15, but with the pandemic and everything, kind of pushed everything on the side. Several other projects I'm doing is like I have this book called Adventures with Zodi, which is kind of like little comic strips about my cat.
Ah.
And yeah, and then that people
awesome.
seem to really like it. Yeah, so it's just little fun stuff like that. And also it's like because I've been doing the comic strips for so long, about 20 years already. I've been kind of like collecting all the strips together into like one big book, and so people can collect it that way. And then I usually put like little notes on the bottom talking about like little cultural things in Hawaii here and there. So yeah.
Okay, how did you and Mark get hooked up? And what was your reaction when Mark asked you to do a cover?
Mark contacted me out of the blue. I'm not too sure if it's because I was recommended like through Brett or someone, but he saw one of the covers of one of my books. Let me see if I have it here. Yeah. So he saw this cover and he knew already it's like I can do like crowds and scenes like that.
Mm-hmm.
So when he approached me and he told me that he had like something like 200 characters, I was kind of like, wow, you're nuts.
but I didn't want him. Let me clarify. I did not want him to do that many characters. I did not ask him to do that. I only said like 20 characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it was really a good method how we did it because I asked him several questions about it because I didn't really know much about the characters, and he sent me the trading cards, but I still didn't really know much about the characters. So I asked him to give me a list of like, what would certain characters be doing with each other, and he gave me a huge list of like this character should be doing this, and this can, and these are all just suggestions. But I went with it, and I went with the cards, and I matched it up, and then he gave me a rough layout of the land and what he wanted, and then we kind of just worked it from there. And it was I think I got kind of busy, so like he actually gave it back to me back in September, but then he kind of like leaned on me in October and November, and that's when we kind of got serious about it, and we kind of went back and forth, and we kind of just spit it out. And yeah, I think it came out really well.
So, Mark, I have a question for you concerning John. How did you hear about John and his artwork? What attracted you to it?
I'm actually glad that you asked this because I was just about to answer that so John would actually know himself. It was not Brett that gave me the recommendation. So I went in and I started looking at all the different artists kind of out in the area. And I liked your work ethic from what I saw on Facebook. And then I also saw that you could draw the different characters, like you said, on the group picture when I saw that. And when I saw that, I was like, this dude's the guy. This guy's the guy that can do this. So, Lewis, to answer your question, I mean, thank Facebook, man, social media, this kind of stuff, like, it just happens. So, there it is. And to tell you the truth, I don't think anybody else that I've worked with could do that, what you did. So,
okay.
You're a once in a lifetime kind of dude to work with, John.
Well, thank
you.
you.
All there is to it, man.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. No, it was fun. It was a little bit like overwhelming at first, but once we got into the swing of it, it was good. I mean, and I'm glad you gave me enough freedom that I could like contribute like all these kind of gags, like in the upper corner where the UFO hits the guy in the head.
How horrible would it have been if I was like, no, you got to do it like this. You got to do it like this. You got to do it like this.
Some people are that way.
How bad would that have sucked, dude?
Some people are very controlling that way. They're very precious of their characters. So.
Well, see, here's the thing. It wouldn't have had the natural feel that it has to it, I guess.
Thank
like
you.
The way that everything seems on the cover, like your creativity is kind of what made this cover special. So
thank you.
I mean, if it was just me on this, it would have been sad day, man. Sad day. That's what I'm trying to say. It was your creativity for sure. So Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No. Go right ahead.
I was
It
just
went
going to
in.
ask you. No, wait. What?
No, it went in and went out quick. So
I know how that goes. So, John.
Yeah.
What is one of your dream projects to work on? What would you like to work on? Say after somebody sees this cover and they're like, "Oh my God, I've got to have this guy." What would you like to work on?
I'm not sure really. I mean, it's as long as the project interests me, I would love to do it. Um, I know a lifelong dream for me was actually having like like an animated series of some sort. That would be kind of fun, But I know that's
You'd be
definitely a lot
great
of
at
work,
it.
Yeah.
I think you'd be great at it. Well, with as fast as you work, I think you would be amazing at having an animated series.
Yeah. Let's see. We'll see. Oh, by the way, I did a little sketch here. Can you bring it up here? Here, I did a little while we're talking. So yeah.
What?
that
Sleepy Lewis.
is me.
Sleepy Lewis.
Yeah,
There you go.
that is definitely me right there.
There you go. Just a little
That-
sketch,
Dude, look how great he is. We were just sitting here. That's great. You should ship that out to Lewis because that Lewis, you're gonna want that forever. That was freaking amazing.
That
dude.
is definitely me. John, I know other newspaper cartoonists, and I've had conversations with them. I've not so much as interviewed them. I don't. I prefer to use the term conversation.
Okay.
How do you feel? They just work on their comic strip. Where now you have a comic strip plus you do work in comics. I do know another comic book artist. I don't want to drop any names, that has his own comic book strip plus works in comics. The difference between the two, which do you prefer?
I actually like comic strips better because they're like self-contained. It's like 4 panels or one panel and you're done, and then you move on.
Agreed. That is what I would choose every day of the week too, sir.
But I do like comic books in which you can tell a little bit more episodic stories. Like like when you have only 4 panels to tell, it's very limited to what you can convey, and you kind of wish like, oh, I wish I had more space for that. So the comic book kind of gives you a little bit more freedom that way. And the comic book too, it's like artistically wise, you can do fun things like having it, like panel to panels reacting to certain things, whereas like comic strips seem a little bit restricted,
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about the lead times or your deadlines? Are you more comfortable with the comic books and comic book covers opposed to your comic strips? I'm just comparing apples to apples right now with the other. How do you feel about that?
For my comic strips, and anyone who follows me on Facebook knows this, I'm a really bad procrastinator. And I did a comic strip about this, how how there's like the 9 muses who inspire you, like different writers and artists and so forth. My muse is deadline. So that's my muse. That's my creative muse. And that's what happens. Is like usually like the day that my comic strip is due, I'll wake up that morning and be like, oh shoot, my comic strip is due. And within 3 hours, I'll try to belt out a comic strip. And that's usually how I work. And I don't recommend it for everybody, but that's just how I work.
So, medium, drawing or writing, which do you prefer?
I think, oh boy, that's pretty tough. Because it's my characters, I prefer the drawing part of it. The writing part can be a little bit frustrating because there are some days in which I'm thumping my head against the wall. It's like, what's funny? What's something going on? And so I have to look at what's going on in TV and so forth, or what's the next fad or something, something that hopefully people can relate to. And that gets a little bit frustrating. But there are times where I'm like, I have these grand ideas, and then I have to sit down and like, oh wait, now I have to draw this. So in that kind of case, maybe the writing is a little bit more,
that's kind of
more easier,
All right,
That
have
is
you ever? I'm sorry, Mark. Have you ever drawn a strip and then did your script after you drawn the script?
Oh, many times. Because
Okay.
many times I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time, so I'll just let the my hand do the work and just start drawing it, and then it's kind of like backwards because you draw the image and then like okay now I need to figure out what they're saying, and
Do you find that easier or is it harder?
oh it's harder, but I think like I guess because out of necessity, like for me I can kind of come up with something and usually I kind of like play it like, oh yeah, that was intentional. But no, a lot of times it's like kind of like happy little mistakes.
Okay, cool.
But
Mark?
but I think too the difference between doing comic strips and comic books is comic strips like I don't have to do it like daily. Like a lot of these professional cartoonists, they have to do like Monday through every day. It is a comic strip. Mine's is just like once a week. So I think I
Okay.
have a little bit leeway that way. Now, as for like my comic books, usually I don't do one until like there's an event. Like if there's a con coming up, then I'll start maybe the month before, and it's like okay, I got to put together a script for like a 32 page or 24 page, script, and then I'll work that way. But so it depends. I have to be like in a different like kind of the mode of thought for each one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
So, John, we don't have too much more time on here tonight. We've got about 5 more minutes that we're
Oh.
able to talk about stuff. One of the things I wanted to ask you while I got you, you bought all the cards and all the comics for Hellbringers.
Yeah.
What was your favorite comic book and what was your favorite card?
Oh boy. Wow, there's so many. It's hard for me to pinpoint that. I think I really enjoyed Mog's Pele. I really like that one. Now as for the comic, let me see, I have it right here. I
Max
think I
Pele is in the top 3, like 100%
yeah,
for all the
yeah.
cards that we've
It's
ever
wonderful.
done. It is unbelievable,
Yeah.
and that character will actually be in the Valac comic book, so
Oh,
it makes a
excellent.
little
Yeah.
cameo appearance.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a toss up for me between Jengar and Shred and the Sacred Heart. I really enjoyed the story and the art in both of those. I like too the fact that it wasn't like especially in Sacred Heart, you put in a little comedy here and there, like with when Mott is waiting for Lilith to appear. It's like, oh wait, your head isn't here yet. We'll wait for a minute.
that was,
Okay, now let me tell you.
that was something me and Ryan Brown had talked about on the phone. That one little quip right there, because
Yeah, no, it's great.
yeah, it was great, man. God. If you go back and you read the trade paperback, Sacred Heart ranks up there for sure. I love that one. But
Yeah.
Dawn of the Devil is my all-time favorite.
Oh.
Dawn of the Devil was the one that put me over the top that I can still read to this day, like watching Braveheart at the movie. You know what I mean? or watching it at home. I love that comic book. Jengar is great too for the visuals. But man, if you want story, man, Dawn of the Devil just ranks up there. But Feels Like Ties That Bind Us is the book that gets us to this point with Valic. And then the next book that comes after this one is going to be Jengar and Shred too.
Oh.
So what's going to be cool after that is then we hit it with another Hellbringers book right after, like the main title. And then we've only got maybe 3 more of these in the main story arc left. So, and then after that, we might just launch with a number 1 and just go from there.
Very cool.
So for all the different characters and everything combined. So that's the plan. That's what I'm thinking. That question only took 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, of the 5 minutes for that segment. So we are going to launch one more question before I hand it over to Lewis for the last one. When you were drawing these different segments on this cover, what was your favorite sequence and segment?
Oh my goodness. I think the Tiki Bar would probably have to have been my favorite one, where Hellpug is hitting on the halfling, and then was it Dick the Lionhearted or whatever is hitting on the other 3 girls. So yeah, no,
that was my favorite too, actually.
Yeah,
That's
fun
if you
stuff.
can see it down at the bottom left corner. That's where the tiki bar is. That's Dick the Lionheart right there. He's, he's hanging out with all the different folks. All
Good
right,
seeing him.
Lewis, you got the last question of the night, brother.
When you, John, when you're drawing, especially a piece like this, and all the creators that I talk to, especially if they are a creator that have creator-owned products, this is you're working with other people's creations. But
Mhm.
my question to you is, with this particular piece, when you're drawing someone else's creation or your own creation, do you give that character a voice as you're drawing it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I kind of like try to feel like, and I try to convey that in like the action or the expression, and yeah, definitely.
All right, so let me hear Hellpug's voice. What would Hellpug's voice be as you're
Oh my
drawing
goodness.
Hellpug?
Boy, I never even did it like visually or anything, but Hellpug would be like, I guess because he's hitting on the halfling, it's like, hey, how's it going? Yeah.
That sounded kind of like Danny DeVito, didn't it? That's
Oh, there you
Perfect.
go. Yeah, well, yeah.
Perfect.
Dan
That's
DeVito would be
perfect,
great for it. It was
actually.
like, you know.
Good job, John.
Perfect. That what's your favorite? And before one final question, what's your favorite medium to work with?
I guess would be pen and ink. You know, just regular pen on paper. There's no replacement for that feeling. You know what I mean? But I do use for this I used Photoshop. I
Okay.
used yeah, and used an XP pen, which is kind of like a Cintiq.
Any
So yeah.
particular paper?
Usually Bristol, like 100-pound Bristol, and I'll use like usually like Copic markers, which are kind of like microns. You know, they're kind of like felt tip kind of thing. But yeah, this is kind of like my medium of choice. Yeah.
All right. Now, commissions. Do you take commissions? Are you open for commissions with the holiday season coming up? If
Um,
anyone has a geek or collector art lover in their life, are you open for commissions right now?
right now I am not, unfortunately, because I have like several other projects I'm juggling right now. But I when it is open, I'll usually announce it on like social media. Yeah.
All right. Oh, excuse me, guys.
No, no
All right.
worries.
Wow.
No. Wake up for 5 seconds. Here we
Yeah.
go.
I'm trying. What? Dude, it's so late right now and I just want to go to bed. I want to put my head down, and if you don't let me go, you're dead. That's all I got to say to you, Mark May, and I'll see you next week right here on the Mayhem Show. Why? Because I am strong and you are weak. Boom.
I'll see you next week. How about that?
Very nice.
John, it was nice to meet you, my friend. I am
Oh, it was a
off to
pleasure
bed
meeting
because
you.
4 a.m. comes
Oh,
quick.
definitely. Yeah,
It
I'll
was
hit you up
a
with the comic. Yeah.
yes, please. That'll be fantastic. Good night, everybody.
Okay. See ya.
All right, John.
Yeah.
Thank you for so much for being on the show tonight. Thank you
thanks for
for
having
being
me.
on the Valac comic book. We are going to push the heck out of this book with all the different covers in the coming week. When we launch, I ask that you share the hell out of it.
Oh,
and let's see
definitely.
if we can't get this thing funded, because it's going to be a battle, my friend.
Oh,
I'm
it'd be
telling
great.
you right now.
Yeah, I think we can do it. You know what I mean? I was actually very surprised that how many people from Hawaii are working on this one, including like Brett and a few others.
Well,
You know?
I
Yeah.
figured we have a Hawaiian character. Why not get a bunch of people from Hawaii
Awesome.
that, that we actually like to work with? So, I mean, I'm telling you, if I could have worked with more people, I would have, because there was a couple more that I actually wanted to work with. It just came down to budget and all that stuff, man. So
Sure.
I'm taking a chance.
Awesome.
So let's just see how it goes. Without
Right
any
on.
further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play one more video, the Hellbringers 2022 hype video for next year. And then also we're going to get out of here. John, you can stay if you'd like to watch it, or you can take off, brother.
Right on.
I'm jealous that you have so much time left in the day over there. I see sunlight behind you. So,
Okay. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
thanks, John.